Hey guys, what's up? It's Jean here from One Down, Jean Up. I am sitting here with Bret from Iron Pony. You've seen him mentioned in a few of my videos, and I wanted to introduce you to him because he has some special things going on right now. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Triumph's trying to get a bit of a sale going on to the end of the year, trying to make the most of it. If you want to come in, mention this video, come and see me. We're going to be doing a deal where you're going to be getting a gift card up to $1,000 on any new Triumph. You can use that towards gear, accessories, servicing for the bike, today, future date, whatever you want to use it for. It's going to be pretty good.
I really just wanted to bring Bret in here to kind of introduce you guys to him. You've seen him or heard him mentioned in a lot of my videos. So just kind of wanted to put a face to the name. So Bret, if you want to tell me a few things, I know that my bike was one of the very first Bret's builds that was ever done, and those are super special, really cool bikes. So if you kind of want to tell us a little bit about what a Bret's build is. I know we're sitting in front of one right here, but if you want to kind of explain that, that'd be great.
The nice thing with the Triumphs is most of them come pretty well equipped, and it's really just what you want to do to make it yours. You know, sometimes seeing pictures on a screen or in a catalog or somebody telling you about it's one thing. So what I try and do is I'll try and price some stuff up, throw some details on there, some nice accessories on there, maybe have a bit of a theme to the bike, maybe like a touring edition or something like that, just to give people an idea of what can be done and, you know, just what they need to do to make it their own. And that's really the biggest thing, is you're getting a great bike to start with, and it's just what you make it do to be yours, why yours stands out a little bit more than everyone else's. And it's just a bit of fun for me to be able to help create my own ones and then help the customers create theirs and make their dream even better.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this bike right behind you?
So this one's the 22 T100, the Bonneville. We've added the cruise control, got the brown gummy grips. These ones come standard on the Speedmaster, very nice. We've got the brown quilted seat, and we've also got the side cases on there as well. Just enough, a little screen, so if you want to put, you know, an evening, a weekend, a couple of nights away, the bike's got you covered.
That's
a little
awesome.
bit of a theme on that one.
Yeah. So do you always try and kind of stick to a theme when you're doing your builds?
Kind of, yeah. It's not just kind of throwing stuff at it. You know, I might go maybe a bit more sporty, a bit more touring. You know, sometimes I'll add stuff that are the things that not everybody's going to think about. You know, the bobbers are a real popular one for that. So I know there's certain things that people are always going to want. You know, if they're buying like one of the adventure bikes, one of the Tigers, they're going to be putting the side cases on there. That's almost a given. So what else can I do? There's going to be a little bit different than that, you know, so they can still add their stuff, and it's like, oh yeah. So I've got another one, it's got a top case and exhaust, a couple of things like that on there. Right. So just maybe stuff that they don't necessarily think about right away, but just adds to the mix a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, and it really does kind of make the bike your own right off the lot. You don't have to go do a bunch of things, go buy a bunch of extra things. It's already there, and you're just taking it off the lot just like that. And it's really one of a kind in that way, so it's super cool. And I know you do have a few here, so what's some of the other ones that you have?
So as mentioned, we've got the T100 right next to us. We've got a red Triumph Tiger, the 900 over there, and then I've also got one of the Triumph Scramblers, the 1200cc one. Got a few nice options on there. Got the side bag, got the crash bars on there, screen, a few little things on that one. Lots of little things to add. I try not to add just fluff. You know, that's down to you. If you want to add those things, that's cool. But really just kind of adding the bigger things on there and just really kind of making it stand out a little more than everything else.
Very cool. I love how you kind of take pride in your motorcycles.
Oh, very much.
That you sell. It's not just, you know, getting the bike out the door and then that's it for you. And in the same way, you kind of value your customers that way as well. I know we've become friends just from, you know, buying a few bikes from you, as well as you're friends with a couple of my friends now too. And I think that's really cool.
It is. I mean, you know, being able to sit down with someone and just making a dream come true, like having the bike, that's obviously, you know, great enough. But then when you can actually sit down with someone and talk about some accessories, and not just from me trying to upsell to things, but it's like, what do you want to do with it? You know, what have you thought about putting this on it? What about that? You don't want this? Okay, well, if you thought about this instead, just kind of really helping them create what they want, but they may not necessarily know it right away, if that makes sense. You know, it's not just like push, 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 sell, sell, sell. Yeah. It's just kind of like, okay, so you're going to use it for around town, or you're going to use it for highway. What can we help to, you know, put a screen on it if you're going to be on the highway, or, you know, things like that.
I would even take it a step further to say you're even riding buddies with some of your customers.
Absolutely.
I know we've gone on rides together. You've gone on rides with Dan, with Katie, with multiple other people, I'm sure.
One of the things for me You know, when I get a customer that comes in, you know, maybe days, weeks, months after they bought the bike, and they come in and they'll come out of the Triumph just to come and say hi. You know, for me that means the world. I've done more than just sell them a bike. You know, they've actually made that connection, and like you say, for us and for a few others as well, just been able to genuinely meet up, go for a ride, you know, meet at one of the bike nights, things like that.
Yeah.
And just, you know, be a family. The biker family is there anyway, so anything enhanced on that is always going to be a bonus.
So Bret, I know you've been selling Triumphs for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Obviously you are invested and you like the brand. I'm invested. I love the brand. I think that they are beautiful motorcycles, some of the best looking motorcycles around. They're tons of fun. You know, it's an all around great purchase. And it feels like I've kind of found a little bit of my identity in Triumph. And I'm just curious kind of what you really find valuable within Triumph.
I've had 2 Triumphs of my own now. I had a Triumph Bobber, I've got the Rocket as well now. From talking to customers, there's no real Triumph customer. It's such a variation, and you know, whether it's, you know, newer riders that are getting into it, they like the retro styling, or a slightly older rider that maybe when they were growing up, you know, their dad, their brother, Steve down the street, something, they had a Bonneville, they'd hear it going by, and they always just had that kind of exciting feeling of seeing the bike and hearing the bike. They're at a stage in life where maybe they did ride, or just, you know what, I'm going to do it, and they come in and, you know, it's like, oh, this is the same color or the same style as whoever it was used to have, and it just brings out that extra little bit of passion, more so than just riding, which is fantastic anyway. It's not just, I want to buy this bike because I like it. There's a story behind it. To be a little part of that, of just helping the person connect with their new bike, it is fantastic. And hearing the stories of where people have gone, and I went here and everybody was commenting on the bike, and you know, and it's a great feeling for me when that happens, when I'm out on my bike. And then obviously, you know, if a customer goes out of their way to come and tell me that, you know, once they've had theirs, it's like, oh, I was out here and these people come and said this, and they used to have one, and yeah, it's just it's a fun, exciting. It just perks up your day, you know. It makes it a good time, and then I've helped get them on the right bike. We're all happy. there's
a heritage that you buy into when you get into Triumph.
You know, it's been around for a long time. You know what I mean? It's you know, you're buying the new ones now. You know, they're great bikes. The reliability, they're fun to ride. They're easy to ride. They're exciting to ride, and even, you know, some of the more classic things like the Bonneville, as with you've got with the 120, it's still an extremely fun bike. You know, you don't necessarily look at it and think, oh, that's sporty or exciting, until you actually get out and ride it. And the people that have taken them out, most of them are buying them at that point. It's a done deal. You know, they ride it and it's just come back with grinning ear to ear, like, and it's yep, that's the one.
I love that Triumph can go back generations upon generation, but then it builds this future that, you know, I'm enjoying, that maybe my kids one day will enjoy, that their kids will enjoy. So it's such a legacy brand.
Very much.
I love that about Triumph. Another thing that I love about Triumph is that it's an accessible brand. You could have been riding for 20 years and find yourself on a Triumph, like you were just saying. But you're seeing your new riders start to buy Triumphs as well, especially with things like the new Trident, even the T100, or some of the 900 models, like the Street Scrambler. It's really cool to see just how accessible this brand is, and you don't get that in every brand. Right,
Triumph do a good job of not just as entry-level bikes, but they do quite a few of the low seat height specific ones. The newer riders, shorter or not, they tend to feel more comfortable with both feet flat on the ground. But once you get used to riding, you're a bit more comfortable not being in that comfort zone.
Right.
So having, you know, a few options of the bikes that have that lower seat height is nice for the newer riders, and also the shorter riders as well. You know, they do, you know, a good variation of those, from obviously the classic looking. They do a few more of the sportier looking ones. There's a few options, and where we are at the moment is it's somewhat hard to get the new models, but I usually try and keep a few of them that are prepped and ready. So, you know, if test ride something that people want to do, and it's understandable, is I don't want to pay that kind of money without really getting the feel for it, more than just sitting on it in the showroom. I try to have a few things that are prepped and ready, at least to give someone, whether it's just around the parking lot, take it out on the street, but just to get a feel for what the bike really is, and then come back and just see that grin ear to ear.
I know for me that was a huge factor when I bought my Bonneville, because I didn't really want to buy a bike without test riding it. The previous bike that I rode, which was the first bike, my CB300R, didn't get to test ride that. One, didn't have my motorcycle endorsement, but the dealership that we bought it at, I don't believe that they did test rides. So having that option to come here and really know what you're getting into before you get it, that's invaluable.
You may have some preconceptions of what the bike is or what the brand is, or maybe you haven't ridden a bike, you know, in the style of like the Bonnevilles, so you're not really sure what to expect. So to try and have a couple of those prepped and ready so someone can, you know, whether it is just, you know, take it out in the parking lot or, you know, get out for a couple of minutes just to kind of get that real feel for it and realize this is what I want.
So I know Triumph does some really cool things with their motorcycles as well, where they make exclusive versions of them. So I know that there is an exclusive Scrambler currently. The Tiger got an exclusive Bond version, right?
Yes,
of that,
correct,
and the Scrambler. And what else? What else is going on?
So
right
they just recently did a Steve McQueen Scrambler, beautiful kind of emerald green. That thing's just beautiful.
I love that one.
Only limited to 1,000 of those worldwide, and as you mentioned with the James Bond ones, only 250 of those each worldwide.
Wow.
We're lucky enough to have one of the Bond Scramblers here. One of the customers has lent us to kind of look after for him, and yeah, it's a fantastic looking bike, and you know, super exclusive. They do a few others. They do the Triumph TFC range, which is the Triumph factory custom, and those have like the gold trim and a little tweak on the engine with those ones specifically.
Very cool.
Very nice limited editions there, and a few special runs. The Bonneville range, they have the Buddeekins, the 100 and the 120. So yeah, they do some really nice stuff that appeals to different people depending on the style of bike that you like. You know, it's a lot of stuff out there.
And I know Triumph can kind of bring to mind Bonnevilles.
Correct.
But Triumph does a lot more than Bonnevilles,
yes.
right? You kind of want to tell us what
So
else.
yeah, obviously what it's based, you know, everybody knows the Bonneville, the look of the Bonneville. They've got the Bobbers and the Speedmasters. If you want the hardtail kind of classic look, you know, the single seat, the Bobber style, those are very big sellers. They do obviously with the adventure bikes. They got the Tiger 900, the Tiger 1200s. They've just actually released the news of the Tiger 660 as well. So it's going to be kind of based around the Trident engine there. They do a Daytona Moto 2, the 765 engine, basically the full carbon race bike, but for the road.
That's crazy.
That thing's just beautiful. Lots and lots of carbon fiber. Fantastic looking bike. They've got the two different scramblers. They do a 900cc street scrambler, and then they do the 1200cc regular scrambler. If you want to go off-roading, super capable of those things. And then obviously I ride the Rocket, can't pass that one up. At 2500cc is a phenomenal bike. It's just incredible to ride, and
ridiculous.
You know, it is genuinely ridiculous. It is completely unnecessary, and I love every minute of it. So yeah, there's a lot of variation. So you know, you don't have to be tied to the Bonneville style to find something that you like.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time today, Bret. Definitely stop in and take advantage of these great deals. They're trying to get 100 Triumphs out by the end of the year, which is totally doable. Pedal to the metal. They are giving out up to $1,000 gift cards on all new Triumphs. And I'm saying up to, but honestly, the lowest amount on that up to side is not too small. Right. So you guys definitely want to stop in and take advantage of that. You can use that on things like service. You can get yourself a new helmet with it. They got tons of gear over on the other side of the shop. Definitely a lot of good ways to use those gift cards. There's also a ton of really cool Triumph stuff that you could get, and you could give it to me if you wanted to. Some t-shirts. No, just kidding.
Or you can make your own Bret's build.
You can make your own Bret's build with the gift card. That's really cool. Thank you guys for watching today, and thank you, Bret, for sitting down and having this conversation with me about Triumphs. Really love to talk about this brand. It's my favorite brand out there. Don't forget to like this video, comment, tell me what your very favorite Triumph motorcycle is. I'm very curious to hear. Also, subscribe to my channel if you have enjoyed this content today. Thanks again, Bret. Come see him, or Seth,
or me,
in Columbus at Iron Pony Motorsports. And you guys, I will see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the ding dong diddle. And I forget the last thing. You need to hit the ding dong diddle. Let's start over.